Hello, my name is Hector Velazquez, and welcome to another episode of GCSA 8 Inside the Shop. Now, in front of me here, I have what we call a tap and die set, and it's made up of both SAE and metric threads. Now, what exactly is a tap and die set, you may ask? Well, there's going to be times during your metalworking and fabrication projects that you're going to want to run a bolt through a piece of metal. Now, we could easily just drill a hole, right, and put a nut on the other side or whatever, but maybe we want to have threads on the actual project itself. Well, that's what a tap allows us to do. Let's get a closer look, and I'll show you how to, one, make sure we're using the right tap, and then how to create that threaded hole on your project. Let's get started. Now, this is a tap and die set, and it contains both metric and standard threads, and you can pick this up at pretty much any tool store. Now, the bolt that I'm wanting to create threads for is an 8mm metric thread. Now, the way a pitch is found in metric is from peak to peak, and on standard is thread per inch, so that how many threads are in an inch is for the standard. This is metric, so we have a 1.25mm from peak to the next peak. Now, I know this bolt is an 8mm bolt, so here is a metric 8 by 1.25, and it's a perfect match. All right, so now that we found our tap, let's talk about it a little bit. This is the chamfered end. It helps to start the thread. Then we got the body with the cutting teeth. Then we have the flutes, which aid in chip removal. And then on the back, we have the tang that's used for the hand tool, and then the shank of the tap. Now, normally you would want to cut a hole 2% smaller than the nominal width of the threads. So I'm using a 6mm bit. I've drilled my hole in my project. Let me get this stuff out of the way. There we go. Now I'm going to secure this in a vise. I want to make sure it's nice and held. Now I'm going to secure my tap into the tool holder. There we go. Now I like using Tap Magic. It's a cutting fluid and it works excellent. Don't be shy on using this stuff. Go ahead and bounce that tap. Alright, now we want to start straight and be patient. Go slow. Eventually, as you're turning, you'll feel it to start biting. Once you start feeling biting, you want to work back a half a turn to release the chips, and then go in a turn, back a half a turn, in a turn. And once you get all the way through, you should have threads that look like this. Let's go ahead and try out that bolt. And it's a perfect fit. That's awesome. And that's how you get internal threads. But what about if you want to put a nut on your project and have external threads? Well, that's where the dies come in. Here we have the die body. It's almost the same thing. We got the cutting teeth. Then we have the chamfered side. This is the side that goes down on the project. And then we have the flutes for chip removal. And it's the same process. All right, we're going to have our die holder, which is it right here. And then we're going to look for the divot on the body of our die. And we're going to place that with the chamfered side up. We're going to secure that die in place. Now, to make this a little easier, you want to chamfer the end of the part that you're using the die on. Again, we're going to use some Tap Magic. And again, we're going to hold it square, be patient. We're going to go in one turn, out half a turn. In one turn, out half a turn. Until you've reached your desired cutting threads. And then you should have something that looks like this. Let's go ahead and try out that nut. Look at that. Perfect fit. That's awesome. Well, nothing makes a fabrication project more fun than having the right tools to do your job. I want to thank you for joining me here today on GCSA 8 Inside the Shop, where we're helping technicians one wrench at a time. And we'll see you in the next one.